Hello, I'll be talking to you about the parts of camera today. We have a variety of cameras, from highly professional cameras to prosumer and consumer cameras. All the cameras have got certain parts which are operational and functional. Now, camera has got a body. Inside the body, there are some functional parts which function and the camera functions. For example, in the first instance, in the front of the camera, you see a lens. Lens acts as one eye, just as human eye, but it is not working like a human eye. Lens sees the scene and by the help of light, it carries that scene to the imaging device and the image is formed there. Now before it enters the imaging device, it is passed through a prism which is called a beam splitter. The beam splitter splits the light into three primary colors: RGB, red, green and blue. This is the work of the beam splitter. So we have got a beam splitter, we have got a imaging device. Once the light enters the imaging device, it is transformed into pixels, picture elements and images formed. We have got two types of imaging devices. We use two types of imaging devices rather. One is charge coupled device and another is CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So here the picture is formed and then it is digitally packed and packaged to the screen where it is displayed on the screen. It can be a LCD monitor, it can be a viewfinder of your camera, it can be a domestic television, it can be a VCR, a video cassette recorder, or it can be a video hard disk recorder. So this is carried and recorded also, and it can be telecast or broadcast live. So here we know lens, then we have known beam splitter, and then we have known imaging device, and we have known the display screen where the picture is displayed, which can be a television or a monitor. This is, in addition to it, we have to record audio also. So we have an inbuilt audio recorder, and inbuilt audio recorder records the audio. It records audio through mics. Camera can have one inbuilt mic, and it can have a mic which is an extension, and it can have two channels of audio in which we fix the audio mics through XLR cable, and then we can record the outer audio also on those two channels. So this is the inside component. Now we come to the outside body. On the upper side of the lens, you will see that there is a zoom ring, a focal ring and one aperture ring. The zoom ring is used for getting a picture closer or a farther. We can get a farther picture closer by zooming in, and we can put one picture, one image farther from us by zooming out. We can go farther from the picture from zooming out. So this feature is based on the length of the zoom lens. Zoom lens vary from 16 mm to 55 mm range to 100, 200 mm, even 300 mm range. This is the professional standard. When we go to the 100 millimeter, it is called telephoto lens. When we are on 55, it is a medium shot, and when we are on 16 to 30 or 16 to 30, it is one wide shot. So shots we will discuss later, but presently we are discussing the paths. After the zoom lens, we have aperture ring and focal ring. This is very important. Focal ring fixes the focus. Unless focus is clear, unless the image is not in focus, you cannot read it out very properly. It will be a distorted picture or a blurred picture. So it's very important to set the focus right. And aperture helps the camera to see in a proper light. Suppose you have more light than required, then you can put down the aperture and have lesser light for your camera, the required light. And if you have lesser light outside, you can enhance the aperture and adjust it properly for the requirement of your camera. So it is a light adjustment feature which adjusts the light, outside light, for the requirement of the camera. This aperture consists of blades, and those blades make a hole which is called aperture, and those blades which make a hole are called iris. So this whole iris, it moves and it forms a hole, and the hole is closed, you can't see anything, and the size of the hole will always determine the quantity of light you will be sending to the camera. After this, we have got yet another feature which is called a white balance. Unless you white balance the camera, you will not be seeing things in the proper color. You are showing white to the camera, and white has got all the colors, and the white color is registered with the camera, and it can judge all the other colors automatically. So white balance is a must. You have a white balancing knob also. You have got a shutter speed knob which will determine for how long of a second the shutter will open. So that is very essential for mixing with the aperture. And shutter speed and aperture will decide what will be the light for camera and what will be the speed of the camera. These things are very essential to know. And then we have got other features, like we have got operating switch. Unless you operate the camera, unless you put it on, how can you see anything? And this operating switch can be put on camera mode or VCR mode. If you put it on camera mode, camera is on, and if you put it on VCR mode, then VCR works. VCR is also inbuilt in the camera, and that is why the picture is recorded, and you can replay that picture or transfer that picture to any other recorder or any other recording device. You have got a battery pack which is fixed on the hind side of the camera or wherever the place is for the battery. So cameras are generally run on battery because you go on outdoor shoots and you go on faraway shoots, and you carry your battery packs with you. You take a battery charger also, and you charge your batteries there, and this battery runs the camera. So all these features are essential for a camera. There is one more essential factor, that is ND filter. ND filter is used for changing the light without changing its colors. Suppose I have a very hard sunlight outside and I need to reduce the intensity of the light. With ND filter I will reduce the intensity of the light, its temperature, without changing the colors. There can be a variation between the artificial light and the outdoor light. For that also we adjust the light, daylight and the studio light with this filter and ND filter. And this is very essential because there is another knob which is a preset knob for light. If you have done a shoot somewhere and you have moved from that place to outdoor, you can preset the entire shooting, the light plan on your camera, and once you have come from the outside shoot, you can set that knob on the preset and you don't need to change lights that time because the lights are already set on the camera. You have to switch on lights only and shoot again. Now note down the questions please. What is a lens and what is its function? What is a imaging device and what is a prism? How many parts are there in a camera? In that question you can answer all the queries about the camera. This is for the day today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.